Hey guys, if you like my content, hit those like and subscribe buttons. It really helps me out. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSports Money, ZSM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to my guide to jungling Sven in patch 7.06e. This is a relatively straightforward guide, and it's not too different from my old guide, but I'm pretty sure the last time I made a Sven jungling guide, we had creep camps spawning every other minute, not every minute, and they gave 20% more experience, except for the small camp, which now gives 12% less experience instead of 20% less experience. So, item build for this and style of this is very similar to most of my melee jungling guides. We're going to cut ourselves a choke in the hard camp using the Iron Talon as soon as possible. And speaking of Iron Talon, your item build is going to be an Iron Talon to start with, and then you're going to get a pack of Tangos, then you're going to get a Stout Shield and a Salve. Now, you need to get your Stout Shield on you as soon as possible, essentially. If you have to wait for a moment to get the Salve, that's okay, but the Stout Shield is crucial because it makes it so you take less damage, so you're not only gaining more hit points, you're actually getting more efficiency out of your heals as well, because you're getting more effective HP, not more HP. So every single point of HP you have is worth more than it previously was. Also, you can see me being kind of a douche with the courier there, but again, I make most of my guides in private lobbies with bots, so it does not matter. So you may be slightly less efficient than this, depending on how quickly you can get that courier, but given the timing here, unless your mid got a pretty early bottle, you'll probably be able to use the courier this one time. Also, your next item is going to be Mask of Madness. Now, Mask of Madness is a relatively controversial, or has been a relatively controversial item for a long time. However, Mask of Madness is back in the meta, and once again is commonly accepted as the way to play Sven, which is good, because I've always thought of Mask of Madness as the best way to play Sven. That being said, if you don't want to do that, you can do the Helm of the Dominator build, which gives you a massive amount of regen and no lifesteal, but that's mostly a super farming build, and you base it around stacking Ancients. And since Ancients are harder to kill now, you're pretty much going to have to burn your ulti every time you're going to kill a triple stack for the majority of the game. So it's less efficient to use the Mask of Madness, and you don't have lifesteal, and lifesteal way outweighs the massive amount of regen that you get from the Helm of the Dominator because of the fact that you have the Sven ulti. So after I get this, I pretty much universally am going to be getting Power Treads, and then from there, there's a little bit of variability. So a lot of people will tell you that you should go straight for the Echo Saber, and they wouldn't be wrong. It's not a bad call. It helps with the mana regen and gives you more damage, but you already have the Mask of Madness, so it doesn't help too much with farm. If you're tread toggling effectively, then you don't really need the Echo Saber, and it's not going to help you much with your farm. But it will help you get kills because you do have that movement slow for like a second or half second, whatever it is, like the mini move slow. It's basically a stun, except you don't cancel TPs with Echo Saber. So that does help you catch people, which is a big concern. However, for about the same price, you can get a Blink Dagger. And so you have the Blink, Q, Initiate, Ulti, and then Mask of Madness, and then you can just tear through everything. One thing I really want to stress here is that if you're not used to playing Mask of Madness-based heroes, remember that it silences you. Like, you can read the description and go, oh, it silences you, it's not a big deal, I'm right-click hero. Yeah, but if you use Mask of Madness before you use your ultimate, you're going to be useless in the fight. So remember not to do that. The other item that you would go next is BKB. So BKB is, I mean, notice how I'm talking almost entirely utility items here, except whether or not you can call a not Helm of the Dawn. The Echo Saber utility is kind of up to you. It's mostly stats item, but it does give you the double attack. BKB is a true utility item, and this will also come down to the enemies you're facing. So if you're facing enemies where they have a lot of BKB piercing stuns, and they have a lot of non-BKB piercing stuns, then I would say save the BKB for the late game, and then play your game around the cooldowns that your enemy has, like Lasso, whatever they have. If you have a lot of BKB piercing stuns and no non-BKB piercing stuns, then you don't get a BKB. If you only have non-BKB piercing stuns, so stuns that can't go through BKB, then go for a BKB relatively quickly. Also remember, a BKB is more powerful and more effective the later in the game that you get it because it has the longer duration, but remember that you might not get to that late game if you don't have a BKB to win those fights. The next item after that, assuming that you get at least one positional item, so like a Shadow Blade or Silver Edge or Blink Dagger or something along those lines, would be a Daedalus. You always get Daedalus on Sven if you have the money, because the crit combined with his ultimate makes him an incredible right-clicking monster. So in terms of jungling, once you have the Mask of Death or Morbid Mask, you're in a pretty solid state. And then you just get your last item, the Quarterstaff, and you're pretty much set. But once you have the Morbid Mask, you're very safe, so you can be a little bit more risky with it. Max your cleave first, get 1 point in Q, keep 1 point in Q for it for most of the game because it only gets more damage and it's magical damage, and then max your E. Keep your E on you when you fight big camps because the armor bonus is nice to survive. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.